Ever pondered the implications of a family tree that doesn't branch out? Welcome to the intriguing world where science meets genealogy, shedding light on a phenomenon known as inbreeding. It's a process where close relatives, sharing a significant proportion of their genes, mate and produce offspring. Yes, it's a bit of a biological puzzle. This intertwining of familial lines has been a subject of study, a cause for concern, and a source of fascination. Inbreeding, a phenomenon that has both fascinated and perplexed scientists for centuries. Inbreeding, it's all about the genes. It's like a genetic lottery where the odds can be stacked in favor of certain outcomes. To put it simply, inbreeding is the mating of individuals who are closely related. This close relationship increases the chances of offspring inheriting two copies of the same recessive gene, one from each parent. When an organism receives two identical copies of a gene, it's known as homozygosity. This can lead to a variety of potential health issues, depending on the nature of the gene. For instance, if that gene is responsible for a harmful recessive trait, this condition could manifest in the offspring. This genetic dance is not exclusive to the animal kingdom. It's also seen in human societies. Take royal families, for instance. Historically, many of them practiced inbreeding to keep their bloodlines pure or to maintain alliances. This led to a greater chance of harmful recessive traits appearing in their descendants. A famous example is King Charles II of Spain, who had numerous health issues due to generations of royal inbreeding. It also occurs in isolated communities where the gene pool is small and individuals are more likely to share common ancestors. This can lead to a higher frequency of certain genetic conditions, again due to the increased chance of both parents carrying the same recessive gene. So inbreeding increases the odds of offspring inheriting less desirable traits. A risky genetic gamble, wouldn't you say? Inbreeding, a genetic roulette that can have significant consequences. Diving into the impacts of inbreeding, we find it's akin to walking a tightrope. On one side, reduced fertility often plays a part. This is because inbreeding can increase the likelihood of offspring inheriting two copies of harmful recessive genes, affecting their ability to reproduce. On the other side, there's an increased chance of genetic disorders. Inbreeding can heighten the risk of offspring inheriting rare genetic conditions that can affect their health and quality of life. And let's not forget the potential for reduced population viability. In small, isolated populations, inbreeding can lead to a decrease in genetic diversity, making the entire population more susceptible to diseases and environmental changes. This is a significant concern in conservation biology. These consequences have led to a general societal and biological discouragement of inbreeding. It's a cautious dance around a genetic minefield. Inbreeding, a complex and controversial topic with far-reaching implications. Inbreeding, a simple word with complex consequences. We've journeyed through its mystery, the process, and the ripple effects it can have. To summarize, inbreeding is when close relatives mate, which can increase the likelihood of offspring inheriting undesirable traits. This potentially leads to a range of health issues and other negative outcomes. The world of genetics is intriguing and its impact profound. Remember, the next time you look at a family tree, consider the branches and the stories they might tell.